Welcome back to J Car Mania, your go-to destination for deep dives into the hottest and most unique rides in the world. Today, we've got something extraordinary, an automotive resurrection that's causing serious waves across the enthusiast community. We're talking about the legendary Saab Sonett, reborn for 2026 as the Saab Sonett II. That's right, Saab is back, and they've brought a sleek, high-performance machine to mark their return to the sports car world. This isn't just a modern revival, it's a full-blown performance evolution, and today we're going to break down everything that makes the 2026 Saab Sonett II a true contender in the modern sports coupe segment. The original Sonett was quirky, lightweight, and surprisingly sporty for its time, a true underdog that has since become a cult classic. But in 2026, things have changed. The all-new Sonett II is no longer just a fun, lightweight weekend toy. It's been re-engineered from the ground up as a legitimate high-performance machine. Saab, now operating under a new but familiar Swedish-European design collective, has brought back the Sonett with bold Scandinavian aesthetics, track-ready handling, and powertrain options that will make your head spin. Let's start under the hood, because that's where the 2026 Sonett II really comes alive. Saab has gone with a dual approach for performance. First, there's the base version, a turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-4 engine pushing out an impressive 330 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's front-mid mounted for perfect weight distribution and paired with a 6-speed manual transmission or an optional 8-speed dual-clutch automatic. This setup alone makes the Sonett II a genuine rival to the likes of the Toyota GR Supra and the Alpine A110. But Saab didn't stop there. For those who crave maximum performance, there's the Sonett II AeroR, and this is where things get properly wild. This version ditches the Turbo 4 and instead runs a hybridized 2.5-liter twin-turbo V6, co-developed with Koenigsegg tech influence. That powertrain produces a combined 525 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, channeled to all four wheels via Saab's proprietary X-Drive Vector Control AWD system. With a 0 to 60 time of just 3.2 seconds and a top speed of 192 miles per hour, the AeroR is no joke. This is serious firepower from a name we haven't seen in performance circles for over a decade. One of the standout features of the new Sonett II is its chassis. Saab has employed a carbon-reinforced aluminum monocoque platform, with extensive use of high-strength steel around key impact zones. The result is a structure that is both incredibly stiff and lightweight, just over 3,000 pounds for the base and around 3,400 pounds for the AeroR. That gives the car a power-to-weight ratio that places it right in the middle of the modern sports car elite. Handling is another area where the 2026 Sonett II shines. Saab has retained their signature quirkiness when it comes to tuning, but everything has been refined for maximum precision. The double wishbone suspension at all four corners, paired with active magnetic dampers, makes this car dance through corners with almost telepathic control. Saab's engineers have also integrated a new dynamic rear steer system in the AeroR model, which provides enhanced rotation at lower speeds and stability at higher speeds. Whether you're carving up mountain roads or hitting apexes on a track day, the Sonett II feels planted, nimble, and eager. Steering is electrically assisted, yes, but calibrated with an excellent amount of feedback. It's quick, direct, and feels old school in the best way, without the heaviness or dead zones that plague many modern cars. Saab fans will be pleased to know that some of that analog spirit lives on, even with the Sonett II's high-tech upgrades. Now let's talk sound. The Turbo 4 in the base model has a satisfying growl, with a variable valve exhaust system that lets you dial in the decibels depending on your mood. It's not obnoxious, but it's definitely sporty. But in the AeroR, that twin-turbo V6 hybrid powertrain sings. There's an addictive blend of turbo whoosh, electric torque fill, and mechanical roar that makes every gear change a thrill. Saab has tuned the system to prioritize engagement and excitement, rather than just silence or efficiency. Even better, both versions come standard with a mechanical limited slip differential, making sure all that power translates into grip instead of tire smoke. Braking performance is just as impressive as acceleration. Both variants come with Brembo brakes, 4-piston calipers up front on the base model and 6-piston units on the AeroR. The stopping power is immense, fade-resistant, and confidence-inspiring, especially during spirited drives or track usage. Brake-by-wire tech is included, but it's been fine-tuned to feel organic and linear, avoiding the digital numbness that often ruins performance braking systems. Aerodynamically, the Sonett II features active aero elements that are both functional and dramatic. There's a retractable front splitter, adaptive rear spoiler, and underbody venturis that adjust in real time based on speed, cornering load, and driving mode. Not just a showpiece. These components provide real downforce, with the AeroR generating over 300 pounds of downforce at 150 miles per hour. It keeps the car glued to the road at triple-digit speeds and delivers real stability that inspires driver confidence. Inside, the Sonett II strikes a careful balance between Saab's historical minimalism and modern-day tech sophistication. Step inside, and the first thing you'll notice is how driver-focused the cabin feels. The cockpit wraps around you with a low dash, excellent sightlines, and perfectly positioned controls. Saab has always been about ergonomics, and that legacy continues here. The steering wheel is flat-bottomed, suede-wrapped, and features tactile controls without overloading you with buttons. There's a rotary mode selector, a few physical HVAC controls, and a center touchscreen that's slightly tilted toward the driver. Speaking of tech, the infotainment system is Saab's new AeroLink OS, a clean and responsive interface that blends Google integration with proprietary vehicle dynamics control. It's fast, intuitive, and doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. You get wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a 12-speaker Harman Kardon audio system as standard. The digital gauge cluster is fully customizable, offering performance telemetry, nav integration, and even a minimalist mode for distraction-free driving. Materials are premium throughout the cabin. Soft touch Alcantara on the dash, brushed aluminum accents, and optional carbon fiber or wood trims depending on the spec. Even the base trim doesn't skimp on quality, which is rare in the segment. The bucket seats are another highlight, lightweight, well-bolstered, and supportive enough for track duty without being punishing for daily use. You get dual-zone climate control, heated and ventilated seats, and memory functions, all integrated without cluttering the cabin's clean design. As for practicality, this is still a two-seat sports coupe, but Saab made sure it didn't feel cramped. There's a deep rear cargo area, enough for 2 weekend bags or a small set of track tools. The frunk in the AWD AeroR version adds a bit more usable space, and there are thoughtful touches like cup holders, USB-C ports, and a wireless phone charging pad tucked into the armrest. In terms of safety, Saab brings its aviation-inspired reputation into the Sonett II. Advanced driver assistance features come standard, including adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, and a 360-degree camera. But the real emphasis is still on driver control. The car gives you tools to enhance your drive, not take over. And importantly, all these systems are fully adjustable or can be disabled entirely for a purist driving experience. Pricing-wise, the base Sonett II starts around $58,000, while the AeroR comes in closer to $82,000 fully loaded. That puts it in competition with cars like the GR Supra, BMW M2, Porsche 718 Cayman, and even the Nissan Z Nismo. But what the Sonett II brings to the table is a totally different driving flavor, quirky, Scandinavian, and deeply rewarding. More than just a nostalgia project, the 2026 Saab Sonett II is a full-fledged rebirth of a brand that never really got to finish its story. It blends cutting-edge performance with unmistakable Saab identity, something that enthusiasts have missed for far too long. With its unique mix of power, dynamics, tech, and character, the Sonett II is easily one of the most exciting comebacks in the automotive world right now. That's going to wrap up our performance and interior review of the 2026 Saab Sonett II. It's bold, fast, beautifully engineered, and unashamedly different. Everything we want from a modern sports car with a legendary badge. If this is the direction Saab is headed, then we can't wait to see what's next. Thanks for tuning into J Car Mania. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more performance reviews, retro comebacks, and car culture content, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got a ton more coming your way. Until next time, keep driving, keep dreaming, and as always, stay obsessed.